Hi everyone and a big welcome to Steve's Kitchen. For those of you that have been following me making this ham, 7 days are up. So if you've got your ham in the brine and it's ready, time to get it out of the brine. I'll show you what to do next. So our ham has been in the brine for a day per kilo plus an extra day, so I've been in for 7 days. So it's time to get this meat out of there now and give it a little dry down. Now this salty water is ideal if you want to lay this onto paths. It'll clear weeds. It's greater than using path clear or something like that. Just a little tip there, guys. There's a lot of sugar in there, you might not want to if it attracts the flies, but it does make a good path clearer, because the weeds cannot survive in a very salty environment. So we're going to take this ham now and we're going to soak it in 6 litres of cold water. When you're brining the hams, they'll absorb a lot of the salt, which will help pickle the ham all the way through. But quite often the very surface layer can get a little too salty. I find this tends to improve the flavour. Okay, 24 hours later our meat has been soaking in just plain, very chilled water, and that will have leached some of the salt off the surface of the pork. Now I'm just going to pull that out now and put that onto a tray. I need to pat this dry. Let's move that out of the way. I need to pat this dry, and if we're ready to actually cook this, this can go straight in and we'll boil this ham down before we roast it. But in my instance, it's still a day or so before I want to cook this for Christmas, so I'm just going to pat it dry. I'm going to wrap it round in a nice dry cloth and keep it in the fridge until I'm ready to cook it. I should add, there should be no bad smells. This is a lovely fresh smell coming off this meat now. No bad smells at all, and it will comfortably last 3 or 4 days in the fridge before we need to cook it. Okay everybody, Merry Christmas. It's the day before Christmas and I've got my ham ready to go into a pot. You're going to need a pot big enough. I've got a big pot here. It's going to be able to cover the ham completely with water. Let's pop that in there and be able to bring that up to a boil. So once I've topped this up with water, I'm going to get this onto the stove. Now I've covered the ham with water and I've got it on the stove. I need to bring that up to the boil. Now you could actually add all sorts of herbs and spices into this, but really I'm going to be roasting this in honey and all sorts of flavours, so I'm not bothered at the moment. This is plain water. So once we've brought the ham up to the boil, we want to cook it then for a further 40 minutes per kilo. That's about 20 minutes per pound. Now we had a 5.5 kilo ham here, so we're going to be cooking this for around about 3.5 to 4 hours, and then I'll come back and just test it with a knife to see that it's cooked all the way through. By then it should start to be getting nice and tender. Once your ham is up to a boil, we're going to let it simmer on the stove for the amount of time that's required. In my case, 4 hours. And just use a slotted spoon. If you get any sort of scum coming to the top, we just take that off. There's not much on mine now. Now I suggest that you use a lid, turn the heat right down, and let that simmer away for whatever time is required for your ham. Okay, our ham has been simmering away for 4 hours now. I'm going to turn the heat off now and we're just going to leave it in the hot water to completely cool down. So I've uncovered it and we just let it cool down and it'll continue to cook through a little bit further. And when it's cold enough to handle, then I'll start the next stage of the preparation. But I think I'll upload this video now for anyone that wants to see this stage of the cooking. And join me tomorrow, which is Christmas Day, when I'll be cooking this ham and showing you how to glaze it and do the final bit of the honey glazing. Okay guys, thanks very much. Comments down below. Love to hear from you. If you are trying this, tell me your experiences. Be good. See you in the next video. Thank you for joining me again, guys. I'm going to leave a couple of links up here. There's a cheddar cheese dip that I made in a cob loaf up there. That's wonderful. And also the first half of this video for making this ham. Guys, it looks like I'm going to be filming on Christmas Day because I've got to put this up and I really don't mind. I'd love to hear some salutations down below, whether or not you say Merry Christmas or Happy Holidays. Comments down below. I'd love to hear from you. Be good. Merry Christmas for me. I'll see you tomorrow from Steve's Kitchen. Take care.